Here we are in the final segment of our program today with Erin Brown, who is an amputee, and she is living a normal life, really, because she has, you have one child?
I have two.
Two children?
14-year-old and a 2.
Okay, boy. And your 2-year-old requires a whole lot of time, and but you don't allow this to get in the way.
Oh no! By now she think it's absolute fun and joy to watch me put on my leg and take it off. She's just like.
Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's absolutely interesting. You are training.
Yes.
How do you train?
Well, the triathlon consists of swimming, running, and cycling.
So you are participating in a triathlon?
Yes.
Okay, and
I'm
where is this
preparing
going
for
to be?
2020 Tokyo.
Tokyo in 2020?
2020 Tokyo,
wow.
Yes. And in order for me to do that, I actually have to use 2 devices. The device that I use now is called a C-Leg, and it's not conducive for sports. Even though I have been playing with it, it's heavier, it has a lithium battery, it's more weight on the body. A running leg, which is also called a blade runner, or a cheetah leg, which you've seen Oscar Pistorius, those.
That's right.
Right, I would need one of those, and a cycling leg, which is a simple knee that flexes very easy. So if I want to go fast when I'm cycling, or if I want to go slow or more determined, I'm able to do that with that leg. So those 2 legs are the ones that I would need in order to really to really take my training further for the Paralympics. And so training for me right now, I do a lot of swimming. I do a lot of stretching, yoga, Pilates. One thing, being an amputee or a person using a wheelchair or any type of limb difference, you have to stay flexible. If you retain your body in a sitting position for a very long time, it will stay there. And so when you have the opportunity to maybe receive a leg, or you want to work towards a leg, you now have to retrain your muscle and your muscle memory to remember that this is how it functions. And so I've been fortunate where I understood from the gate where I wanted to go. I've always been an athlete, and I knew that in time I was going to be able to return back to that. So I've always kept very limber. I've always done my stretches. I've always ate healthy. And to be honest, I've always been a healthy eater, even prior to cancer. I've always been a healthy eater. So this made me be very, very, very particular now in what I take into my body. So I do a whole lot more with greens, raw foods. I had the chance of experiencing eating raw foods for a month, and I didn't miss meat not once. Now, I still do eat meat. To this day, I still do eat meat, because my 14-year-old boy is not having that. Coming home talking about, let's just eat some greens. He's not having that. So I do still add fish and some chicken into it, but I stay away from the pork and the beef.
Okay.
I do eat a lot of fruits. My daughter, actually, being 2 years old, she hasn't really consumed much meat at all. And we don't do any dairy. We do almond milk or oat milk or rice milk. I limit all of that because I understand the effects that it has on our bodies. And so she loves fruits and vegetables. And so when kids come with the bag of chips, she doesn't even look at them, because it doesn't register to her that that's what you should want.
You ever ask the question, well, why me with this disability? And how did I get here? A whole lot of people who are stricken with cancer would say, I don't know how this happened to me. Why me?
Now, I've asked why me a lot. But it's not because of the cancer.
Okay.
I have, yes, I have. What I realized, that has been answered for me many times over, because after dealing with my mom's sickness and then becoming sick and then losing my daughter, because my daughter passed, I had 3 kids. Two are living. And going through that, and then my dad becoming sick and having to go through that, and him passing, it started to register to me that all of these things that I'm dealing with, not being able to work for 13 years, having to always be ready to go and not really have a down moment. Even in your down moments or my down, I have to be on because I'm a mother. I can't just sit there and fester in it. I've learned that I'm purpose-filled because of that. It had thrown me into my purpose. And a lot of persons said, that was such a tragedy, what happened to you? And I always reply back by saying, no, that was my awakening. That was my step or my aha moment where life became much more clearer. Because I've always been civically involved and an athlete. These were all my elements, the essence of me prior to cancer or prior to becoming an amputee. And so going through it now, I will say, I do ask, why me? And how did you know I was going to be able to make it this far? But it always is answered for me. As I keep pushing forward, I've learned not to stay. I get depressed, I cry, I scream, I get upset. I say things I probably shouldn't say. I'm human. But I don't stay.
I tell this story often, and I have to say this because as a young reporter, way back in the early 70s, in the mid 70s, I had an assignment to attend a service at Transfiguration Baptist Church.
Okay.
And the speaker was the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Sr.,
Okay.
the father of Martin Luther King Jr.
Yes, sir.
came to the Bahamas. And I never forgot the topic of his sermon. And it was, thank God for what you have left. Thank God for what you have left. And he said that you might have arthritis, you might have rheumatism, you might have all sorts of problems. But you ought to thank God for what you have left.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm sure that must come into your mind from time to time.
Yes.
That you are very intelligent, you are very articulate, you don't have a leg, or this leg, but you must thank God for what you have left, eh?
Every day I thank God. I live in a state of gratitude.
Yes.
And people hear me say it a lot, obsessively grateful I am.
Yes.
Obsessively grateful. And what I hope that I stand to let persons know that your situation does not define you. Your limits does not define you. Your not having does not define you. This leg, whether I'm wearing it or not, whether you see me with my crutches, whether you see me in my wheelchair, I will still be the same person. Those things does not define me.
Yeah,
it never has and it never will.
You have a very healthy attitude to life. And tell us, how are you making it in terms of getting the equipment that you need to participate in the
Well, right
Olympics?
now I'm raising funds.
Okay.
I have a chance to go to Chicago. I was selected to represent the Bahamas as a cancer survivor, where they present this artwork to raise funds for the cancer community. And during that time, Dare to Try, an organization that provides athletes for the para triathlon. So persons who have physical limitations, they provide equipment, cycling legs, running legs. They contacted me and they said, we have the stuff that you need. We have your legs.
Wow.
We need you to get to Chicago. So I'm slated to go the last week in September, but I'm still raising funds to get there. I had a total of $5,000 I needed to raise. I've raised $1,000 so far.
Okay.
And when I got that call, those are the moments that I say, why me too, you know? And I say, God, what is happening? Like, okay, because I'm sitting here, 13 years in the making. I've said to myself, I'm going to the Paralympics. I don't care if it's just me representing the Bahamas. I am going to the Paralympics to receive a call from someone I've never met, someone I don't even know. And they're saying, we need you in Chicago on the 25th. To receive your leg, my running leg, my cycling leg. They even have some equipment, shoes, stuff, and cleats to go for a customized bike. They receive a trainer for me to meet with and do some training on a bike so that I can get a customized cycling bike, which I need. and also meet some Paralympians. The co-founder of Dare to Try is Melissa Stockwell. She's a 2016 Paralympian, gold medalist in the triathlon. So if that isn't God moving,
Absolutely.
I don't know what else is.
Absolutely.
So that's what I'm working towards.
And you are going to get your 5,000.
I'm going to get it. And I claim that every day. And people say, you say things with such authority. And I said, you have to move with intent. You have to speak with intent. You cannot sit there and say, I hope it happens. No. When I became an amputee and that gentleman said to me in the airport, do you know what you want? And I said, yes, a sea leg, but it's cost $50,000. I may not have had a penny. I am wearing it. From 2010, I've been wearing a sea leg. It starts with your mind. It starts with your thoughts. It starts with speaking. You have to claim these things. It's your birthright to claim these things. So I'm claiming I will be there.
Yes,
Because that's the official start. When I come back, I've already made contact. And I'm actually going to continue training with them. I'll be flying to Chicago to do all of their clinics and to do all of their, so yes.
Well, I hope this program has been an inspiration to people who are disabled.
Yes.
And people who are not.
Yes.
Who believe that they are not. Because you have such a healthy attitude, as I said, toward life, and you are an achiever.
Thank you.
And more than that, you're a person of faith.
Yes, I am purpose-filled.
Absolutely.
And I'm willing to take the risk. I say my shoulders aren't broad for nothing. I can take the chastening. Once we move in, let's keep moving.
And you're swimming and doing all
Swimming,
this.
cycling, and running. Yes.
Excellent. Bianca, wonderful guest. Thank you so very much.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
And we wish you well in the Paralympics. We wish you well as you go to Chicago, because we know that you're going to make it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Together we can.
Absolutely. Thank you for watching and listening to our program. Good evening, everyone.